Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about food. We're going to be doing quite a few videos on food over the next couple of weeks and months. And that is because I'm going to be doing what we've been doing. You know, we've been doing this all along. We've been doing this all along. Mute. We're going to do a total food pantry, freezer, fridge, inventory, just so I know what we're looking at over my summer months. And we're also going to be working in our long-term, well, short-term pantry storage to see things that we have and things that we need to get. I do want to do a little bit more of stocking up as I'm able to. We haven't done any stocking in a while. I've been stocking stuff, but with Jackson changing to being vegetarian, he's been eating some of my stock. And so partly because he just wants to open stuff. So we about to put a stop to that. And that's not depriving him of food. I buy groceries for him in my grocery haul, but he just goes into the pantry and just opens things, and then I have boxes. I'm like, dude, stop. So I'm going to make sure that the garage pantry stays for short-term food supply. 3 months. I'm looking at 3 months, maybe 3 to 6 months, enough of canned things, enough of personal items and certain things like that. So I am going to definitely take a good look at that pantry and figure out what I need to put in there. I'm also going to be doing, I've been looking at some videos online, just how to build your short-term pantry storage. I'm trying to do this at an expedited pace because once I go back to work, I'm not going to be able to have time to be thinking about stuff. I need to utilize my summer months to do as much as I can. Also, we're going to be going back out in the garden. I know a lot of people asked about the garden, and I should have some videos coming out where you see a little bit of snips of the garden. So we didn't have any, none of our zucchini came up. We had blight. We ended up getting a blight. And then we also got a bacteria on our cucumbers. So we did a harvest of cucumbers, but we didn't harvest the next bunch. And then we recycled soil. So I think we recycled some of that, whatever was in the soil that wasn't good. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and toss that soil. We're just going to put it out in the yard. We'll put it, I have a tree out there where it can go and it'll absorb, no problem. And then we're going to start fresh. So I'm just waiting to be able to get a couple kids deposits so I can buy some new soil so that I can do some summer planting. I think I can still do some beans and I can do some other things. I'm going to check online to see what else I can put out there. But I do have tomatoes. I do have peppers out there. And I have some beans that seem to be okay right now. That was like a second or third planting of beans that I do have that so far don't seem to have any bean bacteria. The first beans ended up with a bean bacteria. So, you know, we're novice gardeners. We're just trying to give it a whirl and figure out how it's going to go. We're also doing containers. Containers are a little challenging. So I need to get bigger containers. I have my kiddie pools and they work fine for certain things, but I need to get some bigger containers. So I'm going to look into trying to find some, I'm going to actually go to Goodwill at some point to see if I can find some larger containers that I can put holes in, that I can go ahead and do some container gardening still. I still don't want to dig up my yard. I'm still trying not to dig up my yard. If we ever look to resell in the house, somebody might not want the yard dug up. So I'm just trying to container garden and be good at that and live my best life. So that's what we're doing. So what I'm doing now, I have my computer up. I'm going to be looking up 3 to 6 months storage, food storage suggestions. I'm going to see if I can find some suggestions online. I'm sure I can. I just have my computer up right now to do it. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. It's Monday morning. We've got some free time. We're going to do some cleaning around. So you'll probably see, this might be vlog style. I'm just sitting at my desk right now. We are back on to a full week. Still having sciatic pain. And just to figure out, you know, how we need to move forward and progress. Because I don't feel like I have given that area much thought. And I think I need to now begin to give it a little thought. Because like I said, once I go back to work, I'm not going to be able to have time. And then if I'm back at work, that means Taekwondo is back. And so we're going to be back and forth. And I just need to be able to focus and get my life together. So that's what the kids and I are going to be doing. We're going to work on it. We're going to move along slow by slow, steady by steady, and figure out the things that we can do to help out our family. All right, y'all. So here we are. We're out in our pantry. And this is what we have so far as stocked up for our 3 to 6 month stock up haul. As you can tell, there's not a lot in here. There was way more in here before some people, I'm not naming any names, decided to come in here and take all my pasta out. So I have no pasta. All my pasta's gone. I have quite a lot of tomatoes, which is fine. I have corn, which that's Jackson's, should be in the house. This should be inside. This should be inside. Well, you're going to have to make room. Then that should be inside. Because if you keep leaving it out here with my stuff, then we're going to get it confused. That's why you have your own shelf for the non-confusion. Do you understand? So now I'm really low on quite a lot of things. I do have some spices. That's what, chopped onions. I've got chili powder, onion powder. Not a lot. I do have to find some more stuff. I've got some iodized salt regular, which we really don't use. We use the Himalayan. So I'm going to have to go back and find some Himalayan. Okay. Little bit of stuff up there. Some ramen, that's for, I don't use that, but I guess in a pinch we can use anything. My greens are getting used up because we do actually eat those. So I've got a lot of work to do out here as far as having enough. We've got some snacks for ma'am down here. We do try to keep, prepping for us. We need to prep for her as well. So right now, I'm going to say that this pantry is at ground zero, which is not much. Take your things out with you, lovely. You can help him grab that. It'll be perfectly fine. So we're at ground zero with any of that. Moving over here to this particular section, we do have some beans. Alon, need to find another bucket or something for these beans. Alon, we need to find another bucket for these that are in the bag. Do we have another bucket? So this bucket is full of beans. We have a few more beans. There's some sugar here, some onion powder, and some onion soup mix down there. So I really have got to get to the point where I am 90 days in of stuff. So that's that. All right, moving over here, we've got 3 waters, not enough. We've got toilet paper here. We've got toilet paper there. Those are paper towels. And that's toilet paper. So 1, 2, 3 toilet papers, 4, it's not going to be enough. So I've got to begin to slowly start to get more things here. We have 4 bleach. We've got some Clorox wipes that I found at Dollar General. But we are out of, what is that? Dishwashing soap. Daggone it. Whoops. Okay, so I will need to get dishwashing soap. We have some dishwashing pods. We have another one. This is just all for the dishwasher is what I'm trying to say. And then a couple things up here. That's for the Swiffer. That's for the stove. These are all cleaners. which I need to move because now they have made themselves on the same thing with household. I meant with body stuff, which they shouldn't be there. Okay, let me move that. This is Lysol. I got that at Dollar General. And we have another one. So we do have some deodorant, not a lot. Some lotion, some soap. And then these baby wipes. Now, I got these a while back when I was trying to make my DIY Clorox wipes. So I have those still. We have these ladies products, which you can always have way more of those. So I'll need to be couponing for those. Toothpaste we have. There's some scrubber pads in there. We do have laundry soap. Not a year's worth. Could probably count up all the loads we have. So we've got laundry soap 6 deep there. And then this whole bottom one is laundry soap. So maybe a couple months of laundry soap for sure. Okay. But we're going to have to, again, just begin to get real serious about stuff. This is for laundry. That's borax. We'll put that down there. We're just going to have to get serious about, you know, making sure we have at least 3 to 6 months worth of personal items and food items. So we're not doing so well. We are going to probably come back over here and I'm going to shift some more things up so that we can have this whole bottom shelf for storage. So the kids and I will come back out here and we'll probably put more of those things here. We'll move those up quite a little bit so that we can have some more room as far as storage is concerned. Because my sister still hasn't gotten her things out. She's actually getting ready to do training for a couple months. So that's not even on her list of things. I do want to come out and go ahead and get rid of some of the homeschool stuff that we don't use anymore for my kids' age. And so that'll free up more of this space right here. So we're going to be doing a couple clean outs of just the homeschool storage stuff. But until then, we're going to utilize these. We'll come back and repack these. And then we will come in and move some of this so that we can use at least the bottom half of that. And then we will continue to fill here what we need to fill there. So we're not doing the best on our long-term or short-term storage. Looking in here as far as foods are concerned, we're doing pretty good. We do have some issues with ice, which I don't like to ever see. That means it's not getting closed properly. And so ice is forming. We may have to defrost this again and make sure that all the food is properly stored. But, I mean, even as far down as we can see, there's just food all the way down. So we have a good amount of freezer stuff.
Here. To see. That is a bag that can go to trash. You can go over here.
Damn, how could you leave us like that?
You know what? We can actually put the garden stuff, actually. We can put the garden stuff, this box right here. Let's put it here. See if it'll fit this way in there. Or move these extra ones, because we can always put them back over there for right now. Yeah, but the way you put it in there just bothers my spirit. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm gonna have to fix that. It's bothering me. Oh. Alon, I'm gonna need you to find a chair or something you can stand on to help hand me that. Or get Jackson. Because long enough.
To get what?
That paraffin thing is gonna need to go up there. Get this out of the way. Okay, can you hand me those?
Spray your hands on this.
Give me a stick or something. Got a broom handle or something? Anything?
Ouch. A crutch?
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, I think that's that. I don't know what that is.
That's a bamboo stick.
That's what I meant. I meant on the floor. I mean,
Oh, that's a saw. It's Miss Landy's saw.
Miss Landy has a saw. Where is
She
it?
has all kinds of things because she does that type of work.
I'm confused about her work.
You know, she answers emails and she does other things too.
Do you think, Mom? I have to call Jada.
Today? Right now?
Well, not right now, but later today. I have an idea for the Christmas program. What song we could do. I remember I did it before, but this time it'll be much different.
Do I have any hand soap?
No, but that's our first bar stick.
Are we out of
Bar
hand
soap.
soap?
Yes, apparently so now. I mean, I put bar soap in there.
Well, write that on the list. Okay, now I need you to get that down a line.
Oh, there's apparently things in there.
Yeah, there's something in it. It's some boxes.
So we're taking, are we moving out this floor, taking out all the stuff?
I'm gonna move it down more. Just sit it down there. Cause it's gonna have to go back. Grab that. That's heavy. Just straight down. Jackson, find me a hammer.
That's funny. If anything, we should lift though. I feel like it should be the bottom shelf, maybe up one. Just cause, well, you know how the table and the suitcase.
Tell it when we put it back up here. Go it closer. Okay, where am I missing it?
Must be that last one. I don't know.
It's the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, pull it back down.
One down.
One down now. I think it looks better.
Okay, now what can we get up there?
Um,
Where's the thing?
Well, you're gonna have to put
What
that
thing?
box
Give me that.
on that shelf because it's not gonna fit on that one. This one anymore.
That's heavy.
really use as much should probably go in the hopper.
Okay.
And
What
ice
else
cream
do
maker?
we have up there? The ice cream maker.
And whatever's in the West Virginia.
It's glass. Okay,
More glass?
that one.
It even says glass.
Handle with care.
Okay, what else can go in there? We have
Anything down
these two
here?
things. Put those where over there on the
Where the buckets go.
where the buckets are.
In that little space right here. Something to go in that space.
Something to go in there. Like this hole is gonna have to move. This is going to Jason. God, dog.
What is it, Mom?
He's at his house?
He is at his house.
Oh, I
Let's
thought you
move
said-
that. No, he's at his house. Let's move this so we can put it in the car. We can just drop it off.
Hey, wait. Alright. Wait, we're not gonna sell that one?
He's gonna sell it, and then we can just get it moved out.
Then,
He is gonna sell it. Yes. Here, these are the pieces that go with it.
you help me sell it?
Sister, take this. Jackson can help you take it out. Can you help him sell it?
Yeah.
It's very possible. I don't know. Oh, glory. Oh. What dropped?
Some random one. Cool camera.
It don't work.
Well, okay. And then any of these last things? Griddle, turkey dish, salad, sugar.
Are you finished with the stove?
All right, this second, yes. Okay, what else can go up there? Okay, any of these. Sit that one on top of that. These, oh, here, let me see if I can put these up here. Just put them right there. That's okay. That's fine, put it there.
You don't want to just stick that right there?
No, because we might need to get to that.
I don't need it.
Take that. I'm done with that. These are probably for Goodwill. Yep. Let's. There's a Goodwill bag. Jackson, will you bring a rag, a dust rag, so we can dust in here? And then this is all my garden stuff. Let me just put this up here because that'll make me feel a little better with how it's up here. Sitting. And that glass won't be.
Target. Does Target mail things to your house?
Yeah. Depends, I guess, on how much you order. They should have, or you can pick it up at the store. I don't know. You can see.
And then there's Barnes and Nobles, which are that look through exactly.
You can see. What I do or don't.
Anyways, Jack, it's about this girl named Amber who's an orphan, and she finds out she's, I don't know if she finds out the part yet. if she's adopted or just fostered at the moment.
Okay, that can go there.
She's
Did I get the rag, the cleaning rag?
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
Hey. Okay, Jackson's bringing a different rag, but I brought an actual rag.
For the table. That was just for the table. The what's your name can go back.
Stool.
Stool.
So, oh look, your paper towel.
The paper towels down there.
I think I can go. I mean, considering how it is, I think we're great. We're not even at like a 2 out of 10. It's not like we don't have anything. Because, Mom, you're pretty good at. Hey, Mom, I noticed. Sparkle. We should play that game.
You should
I'm
Ever
sure
in
you
life.
would again.
Not ever.
Okay, we use a hard long word like adversity.
Never.
No, that's not long or hard.
Oh, okay.
Opportunity.
Oh.
Now look at me in this opportunity.
That's Michael Jackson. He need to find a home too. See bad, Sean.
Minus.
Yeah, this should go right here to the goodwill. No,
Okay. Ma'am, aren't you having fun with us?
We moved the shelf up, so this is me standing back. We moved one of the second shelf up. We moved that down, and so it was able to get those top things. We cleared off the whole bottom shelf. Now we can begin to put stuff there. We still are going to get rid of some of these things that are underneath that table. That's not going to stay. That's shredding. And because the credit union has stopped their shred days, I can't take that to shred. I probably have a ton more, but we don't have any shred days coming up. So, again, that's enough space to begin to put some things. I do know that we're very limited on the things that we do have. So we are going to have to make some changes. We did get some stuff there together, but still limited on a lot of our stuff. So within the next couple months. All right, y'all. So what I was saying is I'm going to have to get going. You know, honestly, I thought it was a little bit further ahead than that. And probably the last time we went through that pantry, I had a lot more stuff. But again, my little vegetarian has eaten all my pasta. So, and there's no reason one person should have eaten that much pasta. But Jackson's going through a growth spurt. So I'm going to let him slide this time. But he does have his own foodstuffs in the kitchen pantry. He should not be going out to the garage pantry just pulling things. So I know now to be better steward of checking to see exactly what is in there and what is not. Also, I was doing an online search and I came to a blog by the Providential Prepper, and they had some good ideas on there. So they talked about stocking the basics, which I knew, but I wasn't paying attention. So the basics they had were flour, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, salt, oil, spices. Apple cider vinegar came from another video I watched last night. Bouillon cubes. Then they had things like powdered eggs, powdered milk, and then like I put shelf stable milk, like your almond milks that come in the box that might be shelf stable. So I did put that on my list. Those are just my basics. So I may do a 3 to 6 month basic stock up. You know, that would be one video. It's just my basics. So a couple things that did ring out to me, places I have forgotten to check. I know one of the ladies in my FFF low spend group was talking about going to Ollie's. I don't go to Ollie's because Ollie's is not close to where I live. So a lot of people will ask me on videos, why don't you go to the Dollar Tree? Or why don't you go to this place? Or why don't you go to that place? Those places are not close to where I live. Now, they're not far and I can get to them. When the kids were going to Taekwondo 4 days a week, I was close to a Dollar Tree. I was close to Family Dollar, Walmart, Harris Teeter. I mean, there were just stores that were close to where I was. The closest store to where I live is Dollar General. And then there's a Family Dollar not far from there. On either side of town where I live, there is a Dollar General and a Family Dollar. So none of those other stores are near. So sometimes out of convenience, I'll go to where it's close to me. But I did find, we stopped in Big Lots yesterday to get something. I was looking for some keto snacks because a lot of the people I follow on YouTube will say, oh, I went to keto and I found these Quest bars, or I found this keto thing or that keto thing. So I was like, let me just go in Big Lots and see what I can find. I didn't end up finding the Quest bars, but I did find that they had very cheap prices on certain things. So we use the pink Himalayan salt. They have that for $1, the refill bags, just like they do at Dollar Tree. So that's close to where I go to church. Still not close to where I live. Still not close to Taekwondo, but it's close to where I go to church. And of course, we're not at Taekwondo yet because we're still on we're on phase 2. Gyms open in phase 3. So we're not on that yet. But oil was cheap. Like I got a big thing of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil for less than $5. It was $3 and some change. Probably not the best quality, you know, whatever. And I get that. But in a pinch, I'm going to do what I have to do, which to me, using the budget and figuring out I can buy 1 or 2 of these, it would work. Also for things like the apple cider vinegar or the white distilled, because one of the guys I was watching last night said, you know, you can use white distilled for cleaning. And then the apple cider, he was saying if you have like tummy issues, or it can be used to reduce blood pressure. Of course, I do have high blood pressure. So apple cider vinegar with a little water and a little lemon every day helps to kind of reduce blood pressure. So again, medicinal uses other than cooking. So that's something I was looking for as well. Baking powder and baking soda, those things you can find at Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Big Lots for very cheap. I can go ahead and pick up a couple of those. They should last for a while. And then what we will do is go ahead, like I was doing with when I would buy 2 or 3 of something, put the date on it, and that way we can cycle through or recycle what's going in that storage. So I was very disappointed in the fact that I didn't have as much as what I thought, but I'm not going to let that deter me. I'm just going to let that motivate me over the next 3 to 6 months, get 3 to 6 months worth of stuff. So of course I'm still doing my regular shopping. We're doing the twice a month, every other week groceries. Then I will wait on a good week. If I have any kids deposits, I'm just going to take a little bit aside, not a lot, a little bit, and begin to pick and pull the different things that I know would go in my keto pantry. Now, again, and I say this, if you're in the middle of a pandemic or an emergency, or, you know, where you can't get your keto staples, my kids and I will eat whatever we have. At this point in life, because we're still able to get to the grocery stores and do things, we're going to stay keto even in our stocking up things. Because Jackson is vegetarian and he does rice and beans, we are going to always have rice and beans. So that's helpful too, because again, if you're in a pinch and we don't have a keto whatever, we can always go to rice and beans, and that's perfectly fine. So I just wanted to go through and figure out. Now, we still need to do a full freezer inventory. We didn't do that. That would be a lot. So I thought, okay, we'll do that on a different day. What we did do was the basics. We went through that, those 2 storage shelves, and then we made some extra shelves on that one thing. Now, I'm still going to get rid of more things. That was just what we could do right, you know, lickety split. That didn't take us a lot of time. So that's going to be no problem. I'm going to still get rid of a few more things and it's going to work out just fine. But anyway, just want you guys to be thinking about your 3 to 6 months, 3 months. I mean, even if you have a month's worth of food, that would be good. We got some peppers from the garden this morning. They were small. They weren't big, as you know. I think our roots are bound because we did them in the pots. I should have gotten 5-gallon buckets and I didn't get those. So you learn better, you do better. It'll be fine. But our peppers still look great. They're smaller, like I said, but we got some peppers off the out of the garden this morning. There's tomatoes that are ripening, so that's going to be perfectly fine. We are going to try to go out and do some beans, and I need to look and see what else I can do in July. But I'm going to look because I'm in 8A, so it might be different if you're in 5B or 6C. You know, it's just different where people are, what you can grow this time of the year. So we are going to try to do something. And then I do have a shade tree out there that I'm going to try some shade things you can grow in the shade plants, container garden in the shade, because we do have shade out there. So we're going to see what we can do. Again, it's all just learning. It's trying to become self-sufficient. I have thought about getting chickens, but I do need to see what the ordinance is for chickens where I live. I live in a subdivision, and I don't know that we could have chickens here. I haven't heard any. A little bit further down is way more country. Like, we live in a country, but way down is way more country than where we are. And I know people have chickens out there, but I don't know that we could have chickens here. And I would only get a couple chickens, but again, that's not even something. I just thought about it momentarily. It's like, oh, I could have some chickens. And I thought about putting them around that shade tree, like making an enclosure to go around that tree, like a circular enclosure with wire fencing over the top, but leaving the tree, you know, we would put the wire fencing around and then on top, so that we wouldn't just damage the tree that's there, because I would put it around that tree, give them a little bit of place to scratch, but I would only get a couple of chickens. They would not be free-range chickens. So, anyway, that's just a thought for down the line, because I'm not there yet. Anyway, this is what we're thinking. This is what we're doing. Big Lots, Dollar Tree, those places. I mean, I felt really good when I went in Big Lots yesterday and I saw those prices. I was like, oh my goodness, okay, this is good. There were we got keto pork rinds and something else that was like a really good deal. I was like, oh man, that's really cheap. Let me get that. So again, it worked out, but it's one of the things I like to say is when your mind gets right and you start thinking better, you just start doing better. Because before, it was like I didn't even think about it. And I'll have people to say, well, I do this and I do that. And I'm like, oh, that's great. But I never thought about that for me. And now that I'm thinking about it, or somebody might have mentioned it. Like, I know somebody said, oh, Shakima, I'm glad you got the gift cards, because when I mentioned it last year in December about doing gift cards, now you have it. Because it didn't think, I didn't think about it. So it took that great suggestion and it was like, oh yeah, that's a great suggestion. So sometimes I'm not doing stuff. It's just didn't even cross my mind. Or, we don't live rurally. We are rural, but it's not as rural as some people, or even where I grew up. I grew up very rural. We don't even have a stoplight in the town that I'm from. So, that is a challenge indeed for us, because sometimes I just don't think about things. If I were out in the country where I grew up, we had chickens, we had ducks, we had pigs, we had dogs, we had a little mini farm. My grandparents had a huge garden, just all the things. So you think more about, we did corn, we dried corn and shucked corn for the pigs and chickens. We did all that. Here, I'm suburban USA, so that's not exactly what we have going on. But anyway, it's going to work out fine and it's no problem. So there it is. That's what we're doing. I hope that you guys have taken a few, grabbed a few ideas. Maybe you're doing something. If you have started your pantry, your 3 to 6 months food storage is what I really want to say. Your 3 to 6 months food storage pantry, and you have some great ideas, drop them down in the comments below. Always here for the comments. I'm going to be able to pick up a few more spices and things. It's going to be no problem. And we actually run through those. We do cycle through our spices quite often because we use chili powder all the time. We use garlic powder all the time. So because we bought a few extra, we're able to cycle through them. What we're going to do now is start putting the dates on them so we'll know exactly which one is next. Because sometimes when we're putting stuff up, it doesn't get it exactly put in the right order. And that's just because we're trying to put it up fast. But anyway, that's what we got going on. We do hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, why don't you think about it? We'd love to have you as a part of our YouTube community. We always doing something around here. Mom and kids, we're just doing all the things. So anywho, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.